The Earth is warming, the consequences are already being felt around the world. Extreme weather events are becoming more frequent and intense. Sea levels are rising, millions of people are at risk. We need to act urgently to avert catastrophe. This is where climate finance comes in. Climate finance refers to the financial resources used to fund actions that address climate change. It encompasses a wide range of financial instruments and mechanisms. These include grants, loans, equity investments, and carbon pricing mechanisms. These funds are crucial for both mitigation and adaptation efforts. Mitigation aims to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Adaptation focuses on building resilience to the impacts of climate change. Climate finance is not just about shifting money around, it is about transforming our economies and societies. It is about investing in a just and sustainable future for all. Time is of the essence. We need to unlock the trillions of dollars needed to finance climate action globally. The challenge is immense, but so is the opportunity. By working together, we can bridge the climate finance gap and create a world that is both prosperous and sustainable. The cost of inaction is far greater than the cost of action. We have the solutions at our fingertips. What we need now is the political will and the financial commitment to implement them. Accessing climate finance is often a complex and challenging process, particularly for actors on the supply side. Governments in developing countries often face significant hurdles in securing the necessary funds to implement their climate action plans. They may lack the technical capacity to develop bankable projects or struggle to meet the stringent requirements of international funders. This is particularly true for adaptation projects, which are often site-specific and difficult to quantify in terms of their impact. Businesses, particularly small and medium-sized enterprises, also encounter obstacles in accessing climate finance. They may lack the collateral required for loans or the track record to attract investors. Many struggle to navigate the complex landscape of climate funds and identify suitable financing options. This is further complicated by the fact that climate-friendly technologies and practices often require upfront investments and may take time to generate returns. Project developers, often working on the ground to implement climate-resilient solutions, face similar difficulties. They may struggle to access finance for early-stage project development or to scale up successful pilot projects. The lack of a robust pipeline of investable projects further exacerbates the challenge. This bottleneck on the supply side limits the flow of finance and hampers progress towards climate goals. Climate champions, grassroots organizations, and community-based cooperatives, often working with marginalized communities on the front lines of climate change, face even greater barriers. They may lack the financial literacy, the technical expertise, or even the basic infrastructure to navigate the often Byzantine world of climate finance. Their projects, while essential for building local resilience, are often small-scale and may not fit neatly into the funding priorities of larger institutions. While the supply side grapples with accessing finance, the demand side is not without its challenges. Finance providers, including banks, investment funds, and development finance institutions, often lack awareness of the full range of climate-related funding opportunities. This is particularly true for investments in emerging markets, where information gaps and perceived risks can hinder investment flows. Many investors lack the expertise to properly assess the risks and opportunities associated with climate-related projects. This is particularly true for sectors that are new or unfamiliar, such as climate-smart agriculture or nature-based solutions. The lack of standardized methodologies for measuring climate impact further complicates investment decisions. The absence of robust pipelines of bankable climate projects presents another significant challenge. While there is no shortage of worthy projects, many lack the necessary technical rigor and financial structuring to attract private capital. This is often due to a lack of capacity within project development teams or insufficient access to technical assistance. Bridging this demand-side gap requires a multi-pronged approach. We need to enhance the capacity of finance providers to understand and evaluate climate-related investment opportunities. This includes providing training on climate risk assessment, impact measurement, and the technical aspects of climate-friendly technologies. Knowledge is power, empowering stakeholders for informed climate action. Addressing the climate finance gap requires a concerted effort to improve knowledge and build capacity on both the supply and demand sides. Enhancing transparency and access to information is crucial. Developing user-friendly platforms that provide clear and concise information on available funding sources, eligibility criteria, and application procedures can empower project developers and make the process less daunting. Capacity building is equally important. Tailored training programs can equip government officials, project developers, and local communities with the skills and knowledge they need to develop bankable projects, navigate complex funding mechanisms, and effectively manage climate finance. This includes training on financial modeling, risk assessment, climate impact assessment, and project management. Mentorship programs can also play a vital role. Pairing experienced professionals with those new to the field can facilitate knowledge transfer and provide invaluable guidance. This is particularly beneficial for grassroots organizations and community-based cooperatives, which often lack the internal capacity to navigate the intricacies of climate finance. Standardizing methodologies for measuring and reporting climate impact is essential to attracting private investment. Developing clear, comparable, and reliable metrics will enable investors to assess the environmental and social returns of their investments with greater confidence. This will require collaboration among stakeholders, including academics, policymakers, and investors, building a climate-resilient future, brick by brick, project by project. Bridging the climate finance gap also requires addressing the lack of bankable projects, particularly in developing countries. This involves providing technical assistance to project developers to help them structure projects that meet the requirements of investors. This includes support with feasibility studies, environmental and social impact assessments, financial modeling, and legal and regulatory compliance. Developing innovative financial instruments can also help to de-risk investments and attract private capital. Blended finance mechanisms, for example, can leverage public funds to mobilize private investment in riskier projects. Green bonds and other innovative instruments can provide financing for projects with environmental benefits. Catalyzing investment in climate adaptation is particularly crucial. Adaptation projects, which often involve nature-based solutions or community-led initiatives, are essential for building resilience to the impacts of climate change. However, they often face greater challenges in attracting funding due to their long-term nature and the difficulty of quantifying their returns. Creating dedicated funding windows for adaptation projects within existing climate funds and developing new financial instruments tailored to the needs of adaptation projects can help to address this imbalance. Insurance mechanisms, for example, can play a vital role in transferring climate-related risks and making adaptation projects more attractive to investors. A call to action mobilizing for a sustainable tomorrow. The climate crisis is a global challenge that demands a collective response. Bridging the climate finance gap is not just about transferring money from developed to developing countries. It is about transforming the global financial system to support a just and sustainable transition to a low-carbon economy. It is about recognizing that investing in climate action is not just a moral imperative, but also an economic necessity. Governments have a crucial role to play in setting ambitious climate targets, implementing supportive policies, and providing public finance to leverage private investment. They must also work to eliminate fossil fuel subsidies, which distort markets and hinder the transition to renewable energy. Businesses must also step up and embrace their responsibility to address climate change. They can do this by setting science-based emissions reduction targets, investing in clean technologies, and supporting policies that promote a just transition to a low-carbon economy. Investors, including institutional investors, have a critical role to play in directing capital towards climate-friendly investments. They can do this by divesting from fossil fuels, investing in renewable energy and energy efficiency, and engaging with companies to promote sustainable business practices. Civil society organizations play a vital role in holding governments and businesses accountable for their climate commitments. They also play a crucial role in advocating for the needs of vulnerable communities and ensuring that climate action is equitable and just. Bridging the climate finance gap is a complex challenge, but it is one that we can and must overcome. The future of our planet depends on it. The time for action is now.